So coming in at number 5 on my top 5 sci-fi movies of all time list is the movie The Forbidden Planet. This movie stars Leslie Nielsen, back before the Naked Gun and Scary Movie, airplane movies that he would later be more famous for. But this is a great movie. It's a great adaptation of a Shakespearean play by the name of The Tempest. Um, Great camera work, great acting, great costumes, set designs, all of it amazing. It sort of, it's a good example of how awesome science fiction movies were in the 1950s, or they could be anyways. And it's one of my favorites, and that's why it's at number 5. So coming in at number 4 on my list is John Carpenter's The Thing from 1982. So the reason why this movie is on my list is because A. Kurt Russell's in it, B. It's directed by John Carpenter, and C. It's an overall great movie, nice blend between science fiction and horror. I've definitely been grossed out by this movie, shocked by this movie, which is very rare. I am not a huge fan of horror films not because they're scary, I'm not really scared by them, but mostly because they're so cliche, you always know what's gonna happen before it happens. But with this movie, I was in suspense the whole time. Didn't know what was going to happen, especially the first time I saw it, obviously. And it's an overall great movie. I really recommend watching it. If you haven't, you definitely should. And yeah, number 4, John Carpenter's The Thing. Coming in at number 3 on my list is Alien from 1979. So, the original Alien, directed by Ridley Scott, starring Sigourney Weaver, this movie put both of them on the map, I guess. It definitely kickstarted her career, and I don't know too much about Ridley Scott's career before Alien, but I'm guessing Alien was a big boost to his career because it wasn't a popular movie like Star Wars or Jaws, but I think it had a cult following and it was such a good film that Hollywood insiders must have noticed him because, like I said before, he came out with Blade Runner a few years later and he's had a you know, decent career ever since. You know, every few years he has a movie that's not that great, but overall, he is a great director, and out of all the movies he's made, my personal favorite is still Alien. It is personally one of my favorite um, horror movies. I definitely consider it more of a horror movie than a sci-fi movie, but it definitely fits into both categories. It's hard for me to get into horror movies because I find them so cliche and, bland, but for Alien, it was scary, it was dark, the lighting used in the movie was really effective. All the characters were well acted, the direction was well done. Everything from top to bottom, the way they portrayed the alien, the way they showed the alien in the movie was phenomenal. It kept you um, wanting to see the alien more. And I really enjoy the nice one-on-one, battle, I guess, if you will, towards the end between Ripley and the alien. And you know what? As a woman, I'm really glad to see that the main character in that movie was a strong female and sort of helped to usher in, a new era for women in movies. And yeah, those are the reasons why Alien is number 3 on my list. Yeah. Coming in at number 2 on my list is Terminator 2 Judgment Day. So, in case you've been living under a rock your whole life, or you're about 10 years old, Terminator 2 Judgment Day stars Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was directed by James Cameron, the same director as Titanic, Avatar, Aliens, the second movie, the sequel to Alien. And in my opinion, I think this is James Cameron's best movie. Definitely one of the best Arnold Schwarzenegger movies that I've seen. I've seen a lot. And what can I say? This movie was groundbreaking at the time for special effects, visual effects. Um, Everything in the movie basically was sort of a bar-raising event. This sort of took what you could do with filmmaking to a new level in certain areas. And that's definitely something that James Cameron tends to do in every movie, but I think the characters were well developed and interesting in the movie. I think they did a great job in their roles. I think the movie itself was fantastic. The continuity of the movie was pretty good. I'd say not perfect, but it's pretty damn close. Like, everything was set up and paid off so well in this movie. Even the tiniest details were um, properly done. And it's one of my all-time favorite movies. If I were to make a list of my all-time favorite movies, this movie would definitely be on there. And I think I don't know what else to say. Terminator 2, Judgment Day, coming in at number 2 on my list. Yeah. Coming in at number 1 is a movie that I had a hard time deciding on because there's 2 other movies that could have equally have been in the spot, but as I have it, number 1 is the original Star Wars from 1977. This decision to put the original Star Wars in at number 1 was sort of a tough decision because I was thinking, should I go with Star Wars or Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi? But ultimately I decided to go with the original Star Wars because this is the movie that started it all, and there wouldn't be Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi or the shitty prequels for that matter without the original. So, yeah, number 1, Star Wars. This is the movie that started the phenomenon that we know today. This is the movie that made science fiction movies seem cool again. And what else do I need to say? I don't even think I need to say anything else. Just that I really enjoy this movie. It's not my top 5 favorite movies personally, but let's face it, I'd be an idiot to not put a Star Wars movie in at number 1, and that's why it's there. If you haven't seen Star Wars yet, I really recommend it. So does everybody else on this planet who likes Star Wars. And that's about it. Number 1, Star Wars. Alright everybody, that's it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Please subscribe. Please share whatever you want to do. I really appreciate it. And see y'all later. Bye.